Yeah, I got time. Got time to do one more of these. These are all getting preloaded. It's actually Mother's Day today, and these are all getting pre-edited, preloaded on the channel to keep the channel momentum going, keep everybody informed. While I gotta go away for work for a few more days again. So, so here's one. Listen to this. Hello, Steve. I was just curious as to what might possibly happen the day ever comes that these beings are publicly proven to exist by your channel or other means. Do you think their very existence could be compromised due to publicity, then followed by trigger-heavy hunters? I mean, after all, it's the myth and legend of Sasquatch that I believe could be a major contributor to their well-being so far. Even from as far away here in Australia after following your channel, I believe there's definitely something out there, mainly due to consistency in descriptions of these things in each story. Anyways, whatever comes to any of this, I believe you're genuine and thoroughly enjoy every one of your posts. I have great respect for you and the willingness to listen to all these people wanting to share their stories. For lack of better words, an ear to listen is somewhat a shoulder to cry on, and that, Steve, I believe you understand is invaluable from one human to another, no matter what the story entails. There should be more like you. Well, that's a kind email. Thank you very much for the kind words and the support. And to answer the question to everybody, you know, there's a lot of people out there who start ranting and screaming in the comments and stuff, or even email me saying, leave them alone, leave the Sasquatch beings alone. The people are going to hurt them, they're going to hunt it down. And you know, you do hear a few rumors of people who claim to have first-hand knowledge of government, or, you know, the dark people flying in and annihilating these things and making them disappear. Is that possible? Of course it's a possibility. You know, there's a few websites out there, popular ones, who non-stop list exactly where a bunch of these things are seen, and they encourage people to contact them and tell them exactly where these things are seen. Is there a chance they're affiliated with the people that make these things disappear? There is a high probability that's a reality. Whatever. Nothing's out of my control. Nothing I can do about it. But if I was to give my personal opinion or take on that, if anybody is in danger, it's human beings. We are in danger. We are in danger from the dark people control. There's no two ways about it. And these beings, they outclass us 5,000% to 1 in their element. I mean, look at how many people have gone out there and dedicated their lives to trying to chase these things down and trying to get them on video, trying to kill one. It's been going on forever. If there's anybody inclined to attempt to go out and shoot one, there's more than enough fuel for them existing today, you know, present today, to encourage them to do that. And is it going to cause human death? People going to get shot? No, it's not. People do not shoot at human forms intentionally thinking it might be a Sasquatch, unless you're dumb enough to put on a furry gorilla suit or something and run around the forest during hunting season. But no, I don't think the reality of, you know, I don't think the government, if anything, I would imagine far less people are going to go in the woods if any authoritative group delivered to the masses that, yeah, there's 9 to 12 foot tall, 1,500, 1,000 pound, 700 pound beings running around the forest today. They've always been here and they're there now. How many people aren't going to go in the woods anymore, right? I mean, I've used this as an example before, but, you know, just this latest pandemic that's creeped across the planet, and it showed how the majority of the population has reacted. There is a very high number of people that are going to be terrified to go in the woods. Sadly, the majority of people today aren't too educated with the real world. They can't think for themselves too smoothly, and you can tell by how these people have reacted to the pandemic, right? Look at how easily it was to make people scared of people. You know, just in my community alone, I think there's 5,500 people where I live or something. Apparently there was 2 reported cases of the virus. Let me see this example of people being scared and how they react. I think there's like 2 people had the virus, and they weren't even in town, and it was like 4 months ago. And since then, not one documented case, and every single person's terrified to stand next to somebody else. And I even see people walking outside in the fresh air and wind with a mask on their face. But what I'm saying is, I'm just showing you the obvious of how insecure and how scared humans are on average, and how would they potentially react to the fact if these beings were presented to us from the authorities. the majority of people are going to be terrified. They're not going to the woods anymore. They're not going to let their kids go near the woods anymore. That's what I would strongly, that's what I believe would be the outcome if these things were acknowledged from mainstream media, the government. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. So no, if these beings' lives' existence were threatened, could ever be threatened, they've been threatened the whole time. It's not going to pick up speed. There's enough people out there that know about these things now. The rumor has, I've heard from a few credible people, there are groups of people, dark people, who do pursue these and eliminate them consistently, apparently, is the rumor. It's tough for me to say so if I haven't seen firsthand or talked to these people. You know, I've been talking to a few agents from the US, some people in law, military in Canada, and the United Kingdom and Australia, and none of them yet have come out flat out told me that they have seen a tactical team of any kind kill them yet. I don't think. I might have had something. I'd have to go back in my emails. I get so many emails, you guys. But don't kid yourself. Letting people be honestly informed about these things, about these beings, is not going to annihilate their existence. It's just not going to happen. Now, that was a short one, so let's see what else we got here that I may have missed. Just going to what caused it happen. Got that one. Alright, here we go. Listen to this one. Steve, my name is Rick, and I'm 48 years old, and I've worked in corrections for 24 years, and always been a straight shooter and the truth. And I've always been a straight shooter on the truth. Every story I've told has never been twisted or exaggerated at all. I can't stand people who exaggerate or twist the truth. I've watched your channel for about a year now, and I appreciate what you're doing. It takes guts. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I grew up in a military family, and at the time of my incident, we lived in a military housing just off the base. I now live in southwestern Oregon, but at the time in '79, I lived in Massachusetts. Behind the military housing where I lived was a whole lot of woods. I'd never seen anyone go back there except me and some of the other kids I played with. I was 8 at the time, and I told my brother friend, who was about the same age, to get his bike so we could go to our spot in the woods, which was a trailhead that led into the woods, just a 5-minute bike ride down the old dirt road. I took off a minute or two before him. I arrived at the trailhead, set my bike down, and began walking up the trail, which went up a small hill, then down into the dark forest. I like to practice being stealthy when I walked in the woods, so I don't scare animals, because I like to see them. Well, as I walked quietly up the beginning of the trail, a Bigfoot was walking up the same trail in the opposite direction, coming towards me from the forest. Oh, that's gonna suck. We damn near ran into each other. I shit you not. We were both walking up towards the top of the small hill, so we didn't see each other until we both crested the hill. Then we were visible to each other. I never heard it coming. It was silent. As soon as we saw each other, we both stopped walking and froze facing each other. We were about 10 or 15 feet apart. Oh my god. The thing was walking just as smooth as a man, except it was huge, and I mean massive. It was a classic Bigfoot build, 8 to 10 feet tall, covered in dark fur, huge shoulder width, and extremely powerful build. No human is built like that. Bigfoot is the only damn thing it could have been. It never made a noise, and I sensed that it was just as surprised as I was, and it felt like, oh shit, I've been seen, what do I do? I sensed intelligence as well. After seeing this, which was about 1 second, I immediately took off back towards my bike and saw my friend pulling up on his bike. I was so scared, I screamed, go, go, go now. I took off back home faster than I've ever ridden a bike. I could have beat Lance Armstrong, no problem. I didn't make out facial features on the creature because I was coming off a sunny road into the dark forest, looking at a dark hair-covered creature, and my eyes hadn't quite adjusted yet, but there's absolutely no doubt it was a Bigfoot. I was literally 10 or 12 feet from it. Also in about 2012 here in Oregon, I drove deep into the woods to visit Bolin Lake by myself one day. It was off season, so nobody around. That's where I experienced wood knocking for the first time, so one must have been eyeing me. Thanks for all you do, Steve. These things are real and very interesting to say the least. I'd rather keep my full name out, at least until I retire in just over a year. Well, thanks for that email. And, what experience. Face to face with one of those things, 10 or 15 feet, 10 feet tall. 9 or 10 feet tall, whatever. I can't imagine. Imagine that shock being a boy and seeing that, and then what are you going to do? What are you going to do now? You're going to go home and tell mom and dad? And what's mom and dad going to say to you, right? It's very, very unfortunate, man. It's very unfortunate we're not being honestly informed. You know, it's funny, you know, once I started, since I came forward and you know, it's funny, since I came forward and shared my encounter with everybody, and then I realized that it's very, very important to offer up some support to so many people out there who need it. You know, it's like, I mean, I'm going to talk about hunting again shortly. I'm getting ready to go jump out of a bush plane here in the next, I don't know, month and a bit, couple months. I'm jumping out of a plane in the middle of absolute nowhere, north central British Columbia, for a couple weeks to go chase mountain sheep. And I'll have a lot of video to share from that, a lot of stories to share. I still got lots of other stories from the past to share. It's just, it's tough. It's tough because I'll crack open my email and there's just dozens and dozens of you people out there who are looking for support and looking for a safe place to share experience without being hammered on. And it's just hard not to keep doing it. How do you walk away from all these people, man? It's not easy for me. Like, I just gotta keep sharing for you guys and helping you guys, and sharing the knowledge, right? There's no end to it. I don't see any end to this. How is it going to end? This stuff is going on today. You know what? Somewhere in the world, somebody had an encounter last night or this morning, or today, or right now. It's just all there is to it. And we need more people, not lunatic TV reality idiots, but we need real, kind, caring, educated, generous people to come forward. Just put your face in front of a camera and tell your story. Share somebody's story. Throw it up on YouTube and share it. Get a hold of me. Give it to me. I'll share it with everybody. And get everybody up to date on the facts of these things and what's going on in these woods. We have to. You know, unless you actually don't give a flying shit about anybody, then who cares, right? Carry on your own business and do what you got to do. But, you know, I've spent many years helping people's outdoor dreams come true. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And but to see thousands of people's outdoor passion become absolutely annihilated during their lifetime and eliminated from their existence, it's such a crime. That is such a crime. That just sucks so bad. It's so wrong, you know? Sure, there's going to be a handful of people out there laughing at me. I'll guarantee you there's friends of mine who are talking away saying I'm a complete idiot for doing this. What the hell is this doll doing? You know, what's it thinking? But it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Luckily for them, they haven't had this experience. They will. Some of them are going to, without a doubt. But we got to keep helping each other, supporting each other. That's what we got to do, right? So keep sending them in. Share my story at howtohunt.com, or tell my story at howtohunt.com. Send in those experiences to me. But make sure you educate your children honestly on this topic. That's who you need to educate, okay? That's the way it works in our society today. It's the next generation that changes. You have to start educating from a young age up. That's how all these dictatorship countries do it. That's how they do it. They take those children, get them to preach death to a country and give them guns in the morning and indoctrinate them into those crazy beliefs. But it works. Next thing you know, you have a country who's just been raised on death, kill, and war because the children were raised that way. And time flies, right? So I'm babbling away. I've only had 3 coffees today, no breakfast. But make sure you honestly inform your children of the facts about what's going on out here in the real world. All right, that's where the change is going to start. Just be honest with your family, be honest with your children, and offer up support to your neighbor.